2031, the Spanish champions FC Barcelona announced the contract extension of their 17-year-old star in this manner after a record-breaking season that saw the team lift 3 domestic trophies. Yamal will now be a Blaugrana player until 2031 after his previous deal was set to expire in 2026. This was at the very top of club sporting director Deco's and President Joan Laporta's off-season to-do list. After making his first-team debut as a 15-year-old in 2023, the young Spanish winger quickly rose up to stardom for club and country, with Lamine solidifying himself as the face of the 28-time La Liga champions for years to come. Here is our Spanish football expert, Phil Kuchumalides, with more on the signing.
Lamine Yamal rewarded for what's been an extraordinary year with a big, important contract at FC Barcelona. At the start of the season, he was perhaps the most exciting talent in world football. Now, he might just be the best player in world football. Lamine rewarded for a season which has seen him put up decent numbers. If you just look at the numbers, then maybe people won't be getting too carried away. If you look at the individual performances throughout the games, his intelligence, the way he's developing as well, the fact that he's scored in big games in the last 16, the quarterfinals and the semi-finals of the Champions League against Real Madrid, the fact that there's this aura around him now, nobody would begrudge him this new contract. And of course, he's very important for Barcelona's project going forward. He's going to be given the number 10 shirt. Ansu Fati, his great friend, is going on loan to Monaco. So with Lamine Yamal, with the number 10 on his back at the Camp Nou next season in theory as well, the idea is that Lamine leads Barcelona for many, many years to come. Now, the contract's only till 2031. But I dare say there are going to be many, many more extensions to this contract. Jorge Mendes is his agent. He's got a very good relationship with the Barcelona hierarchy, so deals should be able to get done. This is the first of bumper contracts that are coming Lamine Yamal's way. He didn't want to leave. Barcelona desperately didn't want him to leave. Important to get this done, and he's been tied down to the club, to his club, for the next few years.
Thanks, Phil. And Ian, as we look at this extension getting done, I thought Phil put it very well in that there didn't need to be any drama here, but you never know. You never know sometimes in modern football if Yamal is looking elsewhere, but he seems like he's committed to this.
He's very much committed to the project. He's very much committed to helping FC Barcelona as their project moves forward and trying to get them back to the place where they deserve to be, and that's at the very top of our beautiful game. But how lucky are Barcelona to have this youngster? I mean, at the timing, with them being in financial distress, being able to go to La Masia and pluck yet again another multitude of talents, and this guy being in amongst them, it's really incredible. If you think he's 17 years old, obviously already helped his national team win a major trophy in the Euros last season, then went on. I thought he was going to be fatigued, Witty. Got off to a terrific start in La Liga, then somewhat slowed down towards the winter phase. Maybe he doesn't like the cold weather. Then he started to pick back up and blew us all away towards the end of the campaign and almost won the Champions League single-handedly with this Barcelona side, unfortunately getting knocked out by Inter. But what he did do in La Liga this season was outstanding. He is the leader in assists, shots from outside the box, big chances created, shots after a carry, which is obviously pushing himself further and further to that 18-yard box, chances created after getting closer to that final third of the field as well. Those through balls, 33 through balls. I mean, the amount of times we saw him with the outside of the boot looking for someone at that far post, it's just exquisite watching this artist on display. And I mentioned it so many times before, this kid loves to dribble. He is something unique and different that just doesn't appear so often in our game anymore. He's a dribbler of the ball, Witty. He wants the ball to his feet. He wants to run at defenders. He wants to entertain us. How many times have we sat and watched teams try to play tiki-taka football the Pep Guardiola way that simply can't do it? Now all of a sudden we have been given this gift that is Lamine Yamal. He is no doubt in my mind one of the most entertaining footballers of our generation, and we have got years to come to look forward to him playing in a Barca jersey.
Well, I think it is important to know that this is only just the beginning. If you look at this contract, it takes him through his year 23. He's only going to be 23 years old when this extension theoretically ends. It is important to say this is only the beginning, Ian, of what we've seen from this kid.
Yeah, very much so. And how incredible lucky we are to actually be able to witness him so early on at this phase in his career. Now, I would step on the side of caution as well, because there's a lot of games this guy's played. He's played 106 games now for Barcelona, something around that number. And okay, he's already putting up great numbers. I'd like to see those numbers improve as far as statistics along goals and assists. This season was very, very good in a Barcelona jersey across all competitions. However, I would tread cautiously with him because you don't want to overload him with games. We obviously understand there's a multitude of competitions coming up for the national team, including a major competition being the World Cup here in North America. But in a Barcelona jersey, to have already played over 100 games at 17 years old is absolutely ridiculous. So I want to protect this guy as much as we possibly can. But yet again, when I watch Barcelona, I watch them because Lewandowski's playing one, but I also watch them because I know this kid is going to entertain me. He loves to just get the ball, run at defenders, make things happen. It's just an art that's simply been lost in recent years in our game.
And you see there on your screen 106 games for Barcelona, and he's played it 19 times for the Spanish national side already. 125 senior games. He hasn't turned 18 yet. He can't even drink. He can't get his own driver's license in the United States. There's so many things that he has still yet to do in his life, and he's such a brilliant footballer.
Yeah.
So we're entering the third season of his career. I do think it's interesting for a club like Barcelona. I've seen a lot of headlines about Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving Liverpool. He had been there for 20 years and said, you know what, I've done everything I can for Liverpool. I'm going to go to see if maybe I can do it at maybe a higher level. I wonder if the Barcelonas and the Real Madrids of the world get to live a little bit of a different life. Is the expectation from here that Lamine Yamal will never leave, that he's going to serve the rest of his career as a Barcelona player?
There is so much opportunity out there for young players in particular, and especially now what we're witnessing is those players who are getting to the prime of their career and post-prime of their career, having a lot of money at their disposal being thrown at them. Now, I love loyalty in football. I think it's a rare thing to see nowadays in our game, and I'm glad you asked this question because social media doesn't lie, his interviews doesn't lie, what he has already said, the mocking of Real Madrid. I mean, this kid has put himself into a position obviously to have tremendous success in a Spanish national team jersey, but I think what he's basically saying to all of us right now is that his foreseeable future, yes, but also his long-term future is in a Barcelona jersey. This is Lamine Yamal's time. This is Barcelona's time. Those were his words. I mean, if he's looking in 5, 6, 7, 8 years' time down the line to potentially move away, you don't say those words. I think he's bought into the long-term project. There's no doubt they're going to throw as much money as they possibly can. And you heard Phil talk about it right there. They're going to change this contract as we go along because money in the business side of football continuously changes. And therefore, Barcelona are going to have to rotate and change as well. He's such a valuable asset, Witty. Having this type of a player at his age now, you've got maybe a decade to make hundreds of millions of dollars that I am sure will be thrown at you to sell him if you want. But what he does do is he has changed a complete culture. He's changed a fandom. He's given hope to these Barcelona fans where last year and the year before we witnessed obviously what was happening with the disappointment in the financial side of things. Bleed into the field and obviously Xavi Hernandez being, put out the door. This is a new Barcelona under Hansi Flick. This is a new Barcelona, and it certainly is Lamine Yamal's time. I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon, and I certainly hope I see him finish in a Barcelona jersey as well.
And I think in the overall for Spanish football, I think this is about as ideal of a scenario as they could have seen. A homegrown, natural star coming in their league. And when you look at this league dominated the late 2000s and the 2010s because of Messi and Ronaldo. They had the two biggest names in the marquee. La Liga was the league to watch in that point. Now they've got another player that's going to lead this new era. Real Madrid are getting their big stars in as well. Yep. And I think the proposition of Spanish football only grows because of what this kid has done and what the overall La Masia class has done.
Yeah, fabulous point. And I think La Liga needed this, right? We obviously went through the generation, and how lucky were we to have witnessed Messi versus Cristiano Ronaldo throughout that La Liga time. I mean, we got a decade of that. It was wonderful to watch. And as the footballing generation grew into social media, we all witnessed that. And that's because, and that for me is why soccer, especially around the world, and these two players, Messi and Ronaldo, are so big, is because that generation fell in path with social media growing. Now it's already here, social media, and it's getting bigger and bigger. So for Lamine Yamal to be an icon already for Spanish football, someone who they're looking to help their federation obviously have success once again, but also for Barcelona to take their next path, their next journey into success, which leads not only to financial success and getting back on a perfect financial foundation into a rebuilt and rejuvenated stadium, but also now I can only imagine with these crazy commercial deals that they're doing with artists from whoever knows whatever industry. The most recent one was Travis Scott in the music industry. They need the money, you can see that.
Yep.
But to protect stars like him and to have him be your leader, someone you're going to build around, this squad, this future, you're in great hands, because this is one of the most entertaining footballs I think we will ever see in our time. And we lived in the time of Lionel Messi. How lucky were we, Witty?
Yes.
We witnessed him in Major League Soccer, and he's still blowing us away at his age. We've probably got 20 years of this kid.
Which is absolutely insane. Phil kind of mentioned it there in the piece coming in. Maybe the best player in the world right now. Do you think at this moment in time that Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world?
He's certainly the most entertaining player in the world.
Wasn't the question.
I agree.
Is he the best player in the world?
I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to say yes, he is the best player in the world. You know why? Because it's a lost art. Being able to dribble with the ball. You know, I used to love players who picked up possession of the ball, and I was a Manchester United fan growing up, so Ryan Giggs, and previous to that, George Best, watching the old VHS videos. I mean, I loved watching players take people on, 1v1, humiliate them. This guy is that and more. He has an extra special side to him where he has a left foot to die for, and he also has the ability to go on his right foot, to cause problems to defenders, to make them look foolish. I will never get tired of watching this kid get the ball to his feet and take defenders on. He is, at this moment in time, without a shadow of a doubt, the best player in the world. Do I think he'll win Ballon d'Or? I don't think that's going to happen, because he had that little phase where he was inconsistent. However, right now, as we speak, with this new contract, I don't think there's a more confident player in the world, and I don't think there's a better player in the world at this moment in time.
He's got that flair and that personality that we love in a footballer. Lamine Yamal will be sticking around with Barcelona until 2031.